Smackdown opened with an atmosphere that didn't feel normal. The crowd was loud. Yes, Smackdown is always loud, but tonight there was something different. The energy wasn't excitement. It wasn't joy. It was tension. The entire arena buzzed with an uneasy charge, like everyone knew something dangerous was going to happen but had no idea when or how it would explode. The camera panned across the audience, capturing fans holding signs like, "Who is the mystery man? Unmask him," and "Bronn Breaker is WWE's future." Some wore shirts with Roman Reigns, some with Cody Rhodes, some with LA Knight. But tonight, every single person seemed to be waiting for one thing: the next appearance of the mysterious hooded attacker who had been terrorizing both Raw and SmackDown for months. The commentary team wasted no time addressing the elephant in the room. They recapped how the mystery man had attacked members of the Vision, destroyed backstage equipment, assaulted Roman Reigns, and manipulated several main event stories with perfectly planned, chilling ambushes. But tonight, they said, something new was brewing. Tonight wasn't about Roman, Seth, or Cody. Tonight was about Bronn Breaker, the young powerhouse who had been building momentum week after week. The same man who had been approached by the mystery man earlier in the year. The same man who refused to join him. And after that refusal, the mystery man vanished, only to reappear targeting different superstars. But never Bronn Breaker. Until now. The opening pyro blasted across the stage, and SmackDown officially began. The crowd erupted when Bronn Breaker's music hit. His entrance was always full of energy, but today he walked out slower. Focused, angry, determined. He wasn't here to smile, bark, or hype up the crowd. He was here because he had something to say, and the entire WWE universe could see it on his face. Bronn stepped into the ring, grabbed a microphone, and waited for the crowd to settle. When they finally did, he lifted the mic and got straight to it. He said he was tired. Tired of watching the mystery man attack everybody from behind. Tired of the sneak shots. Tired of the games. Tired of the symbols, the glitches, the lights going out, and the chaos backstage. Bronn said WWE doesn't need another coward hiding under a hood. WWE needs men willing to look someone in the eyes and fight. Bronn said he knew exactly why the mystery man had returned. "It's because you want me," Bronn growled. "So come get me. Stop hiding. Stop running. Stop sending messages. I'm right here in the middle of this ring." The crowd erupted. Breaker continued. He reminded the world that months ago, the mystery man approached him with an offer to join him, to be part of something bigger. But the mystery man never said what that something was. And Bronn said the only reason he refused was because real leaders don't hide behind masks. "Show me your face," Bronn shouted. "Show the world who you are." The crowd screamed in agreement. And then, the lights cut, not all the way out. Just enough for the arena to fall into a deep blue haze. The Titantron began glitching. The same red symbol appeared. That jagged circle with broken lines carved through it. The symbol that had haunted the company for weeks. A voice played through the arena, distorted and low. "You talk too much, Bronn." The sound sent chills down the crowd's spine. The camera swung to the stage. Nothing. Bronn Breaker's expression tightened. He looked around the arena, trying to predict where the attacker would appear. The voice continued. "You had your chance to stand with me. To join the new era. But now you want to pretend you're brave." The Titantron flickered violently. Images flashed. Bronn Breaker's past. Matches, footage of him dominating NXT, clips of him spearing legends, destroying rings, lifting monsters. But every clip ended with the same phrase appearing on the screen. "He is not ready." Bronn's jaw tightened. He stepped toward the ropes. "Show yourself." Bronn shouted again. "Stop talking and fight." Silence. Deep, heavy silence. Then the lights slammed off completely. Screams erupted from the crowd. For 5 long seconds, the arena stayed in pitch blackness. Then, a loud metallic crash echoed throughout the building. When the lights came back on, Bronn Breaker was no longer alone. The mystery man stood behind him. The hood, the gloves, the black combat gear, standing perfectly still. The arena exploded in shock. Bronn spun around, but the attacker didn't move. Not 1 inch. He just stood there, breathing calmly. The crowd chanted, "Unmask him! Unmask him!" While Bronn stepped closer, the mystery man tilted his head slightly, not backing up, not flinching, almost inviting him in. Bronn said, "You wanted me. Here I am." The mystery man finally spoke, the voice distorted but deeper than ever. "You're not the one I wanted. You're the one I need." Before Bronn could respond, the mystery man charged with blinding speed. Bronn reacted instantly, throwing a shoulder into his chest. The two collided like two trucks smashing head-on. The entire ring shook. Bron grabbed him and drove him backward into the corner, unleashing a flurry of punches to the ribs, to the jaw, to the gut. The crowd roared as Breaker hammered him with the same explosive violence that made him a star. But the mystery man absorbed every hit. Not stumbling, not falling, not backing down, he suddenly shoved Bronn Breaker backward with such force that Bron slid halfway across the ring on his boots. The shock in the crowd was instant. Bron regained his footing and charged again, but the mystery man lifted him with terrifying power and slammed him down with a spinebuster that rattled the mat. The arena gasped. The impact was monstrous. Bron rolled to his hands and knees, shaking off the hit. The mystery man approached like a shadow. Bron lunged and tackled him again, this time taking the attacker off his feet and driving him to the ground. He mounted him and tried ripping the hood off. The crowd went berserk. The mystery man's hands shot up instantly, blocking Bron's attempt. The struggle looked real, raw, dangerous. Bron kept trying to peel the hood, but the mystery man fought with a desperation that said being exposed was a fate worse than losing. Bron grabbed the hood again. The lights cut out. Screams filled the arena. 3 seconds passed. 4, 5. When the lights came back, the mystery man was standing outside the ring while Bron stood in the center alone, panting heavily, looking around in confusion. The attacker stared at Bron from ringside, frozen like a statue. Bron shouted for him to step back inside. The mystery man slowly lifted his hand and pointed directly at Bron. Then he pointed at his own masked face. Then pointed back at Bron. The crowd realized. He was telling Bron he wasn't ready to know the truth. Bron stepped to the ropes. But the mystery man had already vanished. 1 second he was there. The next second he was gone. The commentary team had no explanation. The cameras searched desperately. The crowd buzzed with fear and excitement. Bronn Breaker screamed that this wasn't over. The Titantron flickered back on, and a new message appeared. Choose your side, or I choose it for you. Bron stared in confusion. The screen glitched again. Another message. I tried to recruit you, Bron. This time, I will break you. The arena vibrated with gasps. Bronn Breaker left the ring, furious, searching backstage for the attacker. He stormed through gorilla position, yelling for the mystery man to come out. But every corridor was empty. Every shadow looked suspicious. Every door creaked strangely. Bron kicked a crate over. He punched a metal locker. He screamed that he wasn't running from anyone. And then, a voice behind him whispered, I'm not done. Bron spun around. A steel chair cracked against his ribs. Bron fell to one knee, groaning. The mystery man stepped out from behind a stack of production equipment, chair in hand. His movements were calm, controlled, efficient, like he'd planned this moment. Bron tried to stand, but the mystery man slammed the chair over his back, sending him crashing to the floor. Bron crawled toward a wall, but the attacker grabbed him by the hair and lifted his head. A close-up camera caught the moment. Bronn Breaker stared into the hood. And the mystery man whispered, You will serve the new order. Or you will fall with the old. He slammed Bron face first into a metal crate. Bron collapsed. Security finally charged in, but the mystery man bolted through the maze of crates with inhuman speed. He disappeared again, vanishing behind a curtain, into the shadows, leaving chaos in his wake. The show cut back to the ring where the Titantron glitched for the final time. Bronn Breaker has been chosen. And then, black. Smackdown ended. The WWE universe was left frozen, buzzing in disbelief. The storyline had changed forever. Bronn Breaker wasn't just targeted. He wasn't just attacked. He wasn't just challenged. He was the next piece in the mystery man's grand plan. A war was beginning. A war of identity, power, and control. A war that Bronn Breaker had no choice but to fight. The tension backstage grew colder, thicker, almost suffocating. Everyone who walked past could still hear the echoes of the confrontation between the mystery man and Bronn Breaker. But what nobody realized was that the situation was far from finished. Bronn Breaker wasn't the type of man to walk away after being challenged, insulted, and stared down by someone hiding behind a mask. And the mystery man, he wasn't the type to let someone like Bron just walk away without finishing the job he seemed determined to start. Word spread across the locker room that Breaker was storming down the corridor, eyes burning, jaw tight, fists clenched so hard the veins looked ready to split through his skin. Crew members stepped aside immediately. Not because they feared a fight, but because they sensed a storm brewing, a storm bigger than anything Smackdown had seen in months. Bron wasn't just angry, he was obsessed. He replayed every second of that confrontation in his mind, The mystery man stepping toward him, refusing to back down, that chilling voice promising to expose him, that mask hiding a face that Bronn desperately wanted to smash. Breaker shoved open a side door and marched toward the loading bay, where he heard the last whispers that the mystery man had disappeared. But the moment he turned the corner, he froze. The mystery man was standing there. Not pacing, not hiding, not running, just standing perfectly still, leaning against a steel crate as if he had been waiting for Bronn the entire time. The lighting was dim, the shadows long, and the cold air from outside drifted in as the wind pushed through the cracked loading door. For a moment, neither man spoke. Only the distant hum of production equipment filled the silence. Then, the mystery man finally tilted his head up. "You're slower than I expected," he muttered. Bronn Breaker's teeth gritted. "You think this is a joke? You think you can walk into my locker room, run your mouth, and not answer for it?" The mystery man stepped away from the crate, his boots making a sharp tap with every measured footstep. "You want answers," he said quietly, "but you're too blind to see the truth right in front of you." Bronn stepped closer, the tension snapping like electricity between them. "And what truth is that?" he growled. "That you're not the hunter here," the mystery man answered. "You're the prey." Bronn's fist tightened so hard he could barely feel his fingers. "Say that again. I dare you." The mystery man chuckled. A low, eerie sound that felt like it crawled under Bronn's skin. "You think you're the big dog," he said. "You think you run Smackdown. But you don't realize that everything around you is changing. The vision is falling apart. Logan Paul doesn't trust you. The fans are turning, and everyone backstage." He leaned forward, his mask inches from Bronn's face. "They know the truth about you." Bronn shoved him hard. The mystery man slid back half a step but didn't fall, didn't stumble. Instead, he stood there calmly, as if he expected the shove. "You don't know anything about me," Bronn snapped. "Oh, I know more than you think," the mystery man whispered. "I know what happened before you joined the Vision. I know why Paul Heyman keeps his distance from you. I know what happened with your old alliances, the ones you pretend never existed." Bronn blinked, not in confusion, but in shock. Because nobody was supposed to know about that. He tried to mask his reaction, but the mystery man saw it. He leaned in even closer. "Ah, there it is," he breathed. "Fear." Bronn stepped back and swung. But the mystery man moved like a shadow, fast, precise, unreadable. He ducked under the punch, slipped around Bronn, and slammed his forearm into Bronn's ribs with surprising force. Bronn staggered, stunned by the speed. The mystery man didn't attack again. Instead, he circled Bronn slowly, like a predator studying its prey. "You rely too much on your strength," he said. "That's why someone like me terrifies you." Bronn lunged again, this time tackling the mystery man into the steel crates. The crash echoed through the loading bay, shaking the cameras and sending empty boxes falling to the floor. Breaker threw wild strikes, his rage taking over, pounding into the mystery man's sides. But then, the mystery man grabbed Bronn's head and slammed it into the crate. Bronn stumbled backward, dazed, breathing heavily. He wiped the blood trickling from his forehead and stared at the mystery man with pure hatred. "You're dead," Bronn growled. The mystery man adjusted his gloves calmly. "You can threaten me all you want. But we both know I'm the only person here who isn't afraid of you." Bronn's rage erupted again. He charged forward and speared the mystery man through a stack of wooden pallets, snapping them into pieces. Equipment toppled over. A forklift alarm beeped as debris bounced off it. The collision was so violent that several backstage officials sprinted toward the scene, shouting for security. Bronn mounted the mystery man and rained down punches, each one harder than the last. "You think you can expose me?" Bronn shouted. "You think you can threaten me?" But the mystery man suddenly grabbed Bronn's forearm mid-punch and stopped it, with terrifying ease. He stared up at Bronn through the mask, unmoving, unshaken. "You're not ready," he whispered. And with a twist of his body, he reversed the position, flipping Bronn over and slamming him against the floor. Security finally swarmed them, pulling the men apart, but both fought against the hold like animals thirsty for blood. Bronn roared, "Take off that mask. I'll end you." But the mystery man only straightened his jacket, breathing steady despite the chaos. "You want my face," he said. "Earn it, because the next time we meet." He pointed directly at Bronn's heart. "I finish what I started." Security dragged Bronn back as he thrashed violently, screaming, "Come back here. You're done. You hear me? You're done." The mystery man slowly backed away through the loading door, stepping into the dark outside as the cold wind swallowed his silhouette. Before disappearing completely, he delivered one final message. Smackdown isn't big enough for both of us. And I'm not leaving. Bron finally broke free of security's grip and rushed forward, but the moment he burst through the door, the mystery man was gone. Vanished into the night. Bron slammed his fist against the metal door, denting it with a thunderous clang. This isn't over, he muttered. I swear to God, this isn't over. But deep down, for the first time in a long time, Bronn Breaker felt something he never expected from a masked stranger. Fear, uncertainty, and the unsettling realization that the mystery man wasn't just another challenger. He was a threat to Bron's dominance, a threat to the vision, a threat to Smackdown itself, and worst of all, a threat who wasn't done yet.